Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. So when a new hero is released, of course there are a lot of questions about where this hero is going to fit into the game. And when a hero is incredibly fun and impactful to play, of course there's going to be question marks of people going, this hero might be a little bit too strong, especially with some of the previous releases that we've had with, say, Doomfist, Ana, and there are even question marks surrounding Moira as well. I've been hesitant to say anything about Brigitte. I think it's too early to say if she's going to be super strong, impactful, or deemed in inverted commas OP, but this actually comes from the horse's mouth. Blizzard have spoken about three major aspects and three major areas which might make Brigitte super strong, and to quote, "This list is mostly a this might be OP list." Before we get started on what Blizzard had to say, do let us know what you think in the comments below, whether you believe that Brigitte is going to be OP or not, where she's super strong, where she's super weak. Do let us know below. I'd be really interested to hear what you guys have to say. So here are the three main areas that Blizzard are very concerned about, which may lead to Brigitte being incredibly overpowered. This came from a Geoff Goodman Q&A when Brigitte was launched this week, where we was answering a lot of questions about the new hero, but also stuff like Ana and some other changes coming through. Miska did a video going over a lot of the main stuff in this, so do check that out if you want to know exactly what Blizzard have been saying about a lot of different topics. But in this question, Paper basically asks Geoff Goodman, who is one of the higher ups for Blizzard, by the way. You've obviously got Jeff Kaplan, who is the top dog, but you also have Geoff Goodman and Arakella, which are kind of like also high up devs on the team that have a lot to do with how the game has been balanced and how the game has been played and future heroes, all that jazz. But Paper basically asks, when Moira was released, you guys said that you were keeping an eye on her survivability, as that was a potential area where she may end up being too strong. How does this apply to Brigitte? What sort of watch areas do you have on her? What sort of possible fixes are you guys already thinking about to address any possible issues you suspect may yet appear? And Geoff Goodman responds saying it's a good question. Obviously by the time a hero comes out, the person that's played the most time on these heroes are the Blizzard devs themselves, so they generally have a good idea on what's on their watch list for any given hero. And these are the three main areas that they are keeping an eye on that might make Brigitte overpowered. Number one, is there too much max health gain potential now? Is the combination of Torbjorn and Brigitte Symmetra going to be some crazy thing where you stack Tracer up with so much health that she becomes nearly unkillable? Example number two is her ultimate too strong? The fact that half of your armor can linger indefinitely in how powerful armor can be in the game, it just might be too strong overall. And reason number three, her stun burst combo, even though she has a fairly low DPS, she can pull out quite a bit of damage if you shield bash, then melee, then whip shot, and it's fairly safe as well since the target that you're hitting can't really act until they are flying away from you, because they basically get stun locked out. So the max health gain potential, her ultimate, and her stun burst combo are three major areas which, to quote, might be on the OP list. He then went on to say that there are other things that they really want to keep an eye on, such as making sure her Inspire passive feels useful and powerful, and making sure her ultimate is worth using in combat instead of only outside of combat for the lingering armor. So these are three main areas that Blizzard are of course looking at with this hero when it comes to deeming Brigitte to be too strong in certain areas. The max health gain potential is a scary prospect. If you have a 200 HP soldier, for example, that's defended on, let's say, Blizzard World, and you have a Torbjorn, Brigitte, and Symmetra on your team. Torbjorn gives you a bit of armor, so you're up to 275 health with 75 armor. Symmetra then puts down a shield generator, which gives you another 75 shield, so you're up to 350 HP in total. Brigitte then uses Rally outside of fight, which is another concern of Blizzard's what they just said, which gives you another 150 armor, which doesn't actually disappear. It stays with you indefinitely. So you are then up to 500 HP total, 225 of it being armor. Not only that, say if you're a soldier and you're running into attack visor, Brigitte can give you an extra 75 armor, which is temporary, meaning that you would be a 575 HP soldier, which is running and using an ultimate. And of course you have examples like Tracer was given as an example, where you can stack up to giving her almost 500 health temporarily, more so with the shield generator. It's actually ridiculous how scary that prospect can be, and it has been used a couple of times, at least in the games that I've had. So to be clear, I've played about 15 hours on this new hero on the PTR. Most of it wasn't in quick play actually, it was in custom lobby games with a competitive rule set, playing alongside other teams, but also just open it up to people that I know, friends, fans, all that stuff, to just try out this new hero and play her as much as I can. And I've run into this combination a couple of times and it can be really difficult to actually break down. Heroes like Torbjorn and Symmetra get stronger as time goes on. If you're defended, say, Hollywood, which is a great example, if you're attacking and you lose a couple of engagements, Torbjorn and Symmetra built up their ultimates, which mean that they're set in their ways and they have a contingency plan if you decide to dive in using your ultimates. Molten Core is great for shutting stuff down, and it's a very scary ultimate in itself. So this combination is just like an immovable object, and it's very difficult to actually break through it. So there's no surprise that Blizzard are keeping a very close eye on this. However, I feel it's just going to be more annoying and overpowered. I don't think it's really going to be a solid strategy. As the idea is you acknowledge what they're trying to run, and then you try and win that fight as quickly as you possibly can. Now for reason number 2, is her ultimate too strong? So to be clear, Rally works in a very interesting way. We've got the example of Soldier. Rally could give up to 150 armor on top of Soldier's current health pool. So if you're 200 health, you can have 350 health with the 150 armor. And this affects all characters close by to Brigitte when she's ulting, which means that everybody gets an extra 150 armor. However, if your target is taking damage, it can heal up to 300 in total. So again, Soldier, 200 health, you take 150 HP worth of damage, so you're at 50 health. Brigitte rallies you up. It not only heals up to your total health pool with armor with rally, but it gives you the extra 150. And again, this is the concern with making sure that people don't use her ultimate outside of a fight just to give some characters an extra 150 HP of armor. So they're very concerned that the ultimate is too strong with how the armor stays on a target afterwards. You keep that armor indefinitely instead of, say, Repair Kit, where you can give a target some extra health and armor, but the armor is only temporary. It disappears after 5 seconds, I believe. And a stun burst combo is something that was a big problem to begin with. You could actually stun lock a Trace and basically one-shot her with the shield bash melee whip shot combination. There's very little that she could actually do about it. However, my concern isn't necessarily the stun burst combo, it's actually the shield bash in itself. It's one of the strongest CC abilities in the game currently, and can shut down a multitude of different abilities, especially ultimates, and it's on such a low cooldown that you can use it quite liberally. You can smash a Moira in the face when she's coalescing, a Roadhog when he's trying to heal or whole hog, even a Reaper jumping into your team to Death Blossom. You could just turn around, shield bash him, and it stops it completely. Granted, the only caveat to this is you have to be exceptionally close to the target when they're doing an ability, which might put you in a lot of trouble, but you have your shield to protect you forward facing anyway, so in a sense you have a lot more protection than, say, a McCree does with a flashbang, a Hog with a hook, which requires a little bit more skill, and also you can't like deflect a shield bash like you can with a hook or a flashbang. So it's basically a very strong CC ability that has zero counter to it, other than trying to keep away from her as much as possible. So if I was expected to see a nerf, which I hope we don't really, it would be just increasing the cooldown on shield bash just to up it by about 2 seconds or something to make sure that it's not as obnoxious, I suppose. And it kind of reminds me of Hook 1.0 as well, where you could use it liberally as Roadhog and get a lot of use out of it. So just upping the cooldown on it means that you need to be a little bit more picky with how you use it instead of just basically using it on everything. There's a Reinhardt here, shield bash. There's a Roadhog here, shield bash. There's a Ultin Reaper, shield bash. You have it so liberally that you can use it anytime that you want. But these are the 3 main areas that Blizzard are keeping a very close eye on. I think one of the main ones is her ultimate, how it's being used, whether it's too strong, if it's too obnoxious to actually deal with and gives too much armor to the rest of your team, that it stacks up too much with your Torbjorns, your Symmetras, and all of the other heroes that could generate and give you extra health as well. Meaning that you're just basically turning some squishy characters into tanks. And because of that, it can be very scary and just a bit broken and of course overpowered. But again, as I said, let me know what you think of Brigitte, whether you think that she's going to be too strong or whether you think she's going to be really niche. I think she's still going to be situational, but there are of course areas of her kit that can be exceptional and have a huge impact for very little requirement. But thanks for watching, like and subscribe if you haven't already, it really helps out the channel. And until next time, take care, we'll see you then.